welcome to another episode of Bike Channel Kenya, and today we're going to look at why you should at least own a dirt bike in your lifetime. Number one is to improve your riding skills. Now, if you've never been on a dirt bike, when you throw a leg over one, you'll realize you virtually know nothing about riding. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Now, when you're off-roading, there isn't much grip and the bike will be sliding a lot. And I mean a lot. In general, you'll gain a lot of skills. In fact, during the first days on a dirt bike, you'll feel like a complete beginner since your throttle input will be out of shape. You'll corner like a beginner. Your clutch control will be shit when you get to the hills or technical terrain and so on. It is no coincidence you see MotoGP stars on dirt bikes when they are not racing. It is to improve their skills. 3 months on a dirt bike and your sensory receptors will improve drastically, especially with regards to grip on corners. You will learn smooth throttle control, when to slip the clutch, and so on. Now, we ride bikes with our bodies, unlike cars where you just sit down. And no better place will you realize this than when you get on a dirt bike. You'll become aware of your body position when accelerating, when braking, where your inside leg should be when cornering, how you should stand up when going over a rock or when going over a jump or that sort of thing, and so on. Number 2, going to places road bikes can only dream about. Now, with a dirt bike, when you have knobby tires and the skill, you can literally go anywhere you want. I mean, you'll be surprised how many back roads there are in your local area, only that you can't explore them since your bike can't go off-road. You'll be able to visit places road bikes can only dream about, like riverbeds, quarries, mountains, forests, and whatever you fancy. Just last week, I climbed Mount Everest and was back in base camp in just 2 hours. Unbelievable, right? Don't worry, I'm still editing that footage. If you haven't subscribed, this is the high time to do so. You don't want to miss that video. But in all seriousness, the limitation to wherever you can go will only be your skill. Number 3, who needs the gym when you have a dirt bike? Now, if you are out of shape, well then, dirt bikes will keep you in shape by force. You'll never see a person who rides dirt bikes who is out of shape. When you're off-roading, you'll spend most of your time standing up. For the first 2 weeks, when you get your dirt bike, your whole body will be sore from your legs to thighs to shoulders to arms to neck. It is like the bastard child of leg day, weightlifting, and cardio combined. In fact, when I got back to riding dirt bikes last year, I was losing an average of 2 kgs for the first 4 weeks before it plateaued. And if you're a man and decide standing up is just showing off and decide to sit down on the rough terrain, well then, bippity boppity boo, you'll be crying all the way to the fridge to get some ice cubes when you get home to cool off your balls because they'll be on fire after a full day of being squashed around. Don't ask me how I know that. Also, remember to carry lots of water. If you don't have a water bag, this will be the high time you got one, because you'll be sweating a lot. Like a guy who has taken Viagra and the chicks decides to eat the fare. Number 4, wheelies for days. If you want to learn how to wheelie, then a dirt bike will be the best plan to learn them. For one, they are very light. Like for example, this 450 weighs 110 kgs when it is full of fuel and has 60 brake horsepower. Just for comparison purposes, one of the most popular bikes in Kenya, the Benelli 250, weighs 175 kgs when fully fueled and has half the horsepower. So with 60 brake horsepower and a weight of 110 kgs, you'll be wheeling a lot. In fact, any dirt bike above 250cc, when in first or second gear and you give it a handful full of throttle, the front wheel will be in the air faster than you can say wheelie. So, if you want to learn how to wheelie, then a dirt bike will be the best place to learn on. I'm not saying that other bikes won't wheelie, but a dirt bike chassis will be far more easier to learn on. Number 5, supermoto / motocross / enduro racing. Now, when you have a dirt bike and the racing itch eats you, you'll have 3 categories to race in, at least here in Kenya. Number 1 will be motocross, where the races are held at Jamhuri Park. And by the way, even if you don't want to race and just want to enjoy the Jamhuri racetrack, if you go there with your dirt bike and full gear, they will charge you 500 Kenyan shillings to enjoy the track. And I insist, full gear. If you go there without the full gear, they'll just turn you back. Number 2 race category will be enduro. Now, the difference between motocross and enduro is motocross is purely speed with lots of jumping, and the bikes are more stiffer than enduro bikes. Whereas motocross focuses on speed, enduro focuses on skill, where you'll be climbing hills, going over rocks, going over logs, water crossing, and that sort of thing. They are usually aired randomly from Lukenya to Nakuru to Kajiado or whatever place the organizers fancy. And for number 3 racing category, if you don't like getting dirty, then you can buy some supermoto setup and fit them to your bike. The whole setup will cost 60,000 Kenyan shillings. That is the rims, tires, and the brakes. When you get the setup installed, then you can compete in the supermoto category under the Superbike National Championship, where you'll be racing in either at TGRVC, and for abbreviationally challenged viewers, the old mouthful is the Great Rift Valley Circuit, located at Mai Mai, or the Whistling Moran track, located at Athi River. So, those are your top reasons why you need to at least own a dirt bike in your lifetime. If you like the video, smash that like button. If you like the channel, subscribe for more. See ya on the next one. Ciao.